The ground is not the determinant here. That's what he's trying to tell you. He says the ground is there, and it receives the water and the rain, and that doesn't really affect what grows either. But what's the difference is the one doing the tilling is the one that determines what is brought forth. And that's your linkage to the things that were going on in verses 4 through 6 about the person who's incapable anymore of repentance. It's the one doing the tilling that is significant here. Bear in mind, he's also saying, by saying stay in me, that you could, like we read in Hebrews, not stay in him. I know I say this every time, but we have to always, as we zoom out and look at context, there is no reason to tell someone to stay unless they could leave. So let the once saved, always savers and all that other stuff, read your John chapter 15. If everything's all good because you're in verse 3 thinking you're all clean, why does he have to say, stay in me? See that word complete there? So your joy might be complete is the same word that's used when it said that he came here to fulfill the Torah in Matthew. It's the same Greek word translated here. So they're going to say fulfill in Matthew where he says I didn't come to destroy but to fulfill means to do away with. Well then forget about joy, it's all done. He came to take away your joy and steal it and do away with it. Nonsense. Just like it's nonsense in Matthew. But you got to tell your Christian friends you can't play the convenience game that it means one thing here and a different thing there. It does not. If it means done away with in Matthew, it means done away with here. Now, the tiller of the ground is also responsible for maintaining the status and condition of the dirt. That's why you can plant good seed and get junk. Because if you plant it and ignore it and don't keep the weeds out and don't take care of it and nurture it and water it, etc., you'll end up getting all kinds of stuff you didn't really want. So it's all on the tiller of the ground. See, look, I know this is hard. I've said this a couple of times, a lot lately maybe, but a couple of times in the last few months. You need to accept and embrace the fact that you are primarily responsible for all aspects of your life, physical and spiritual. You are responsible. He gives you what you need, and then you become responsible for what you do with it. You are responsible. It's not that you haven't done some things well. Elohim is not ignorant of the things that you have done well. There's just other things that you're still not doing right. So don't beat yourself up, think you're a failure, and want to quit, but recognize that you just haven't arrived. It's a process that will go until, I don't know, you stop breathing. Okay? And by the way, it may go beyond that. Eagerness versus sluggishness. Because remember, now he's talked about a little bit about the type of ground you are, about being the tiller. He's talked about those that failed and those that succeeded, as we see examples of them out throughout scriptures. And now he's talking about, let me talk about what's going to make the difference. How you till your ground, and also whether you are eager or sluggish. This is the belief chapter, people will call it Hebrews 11. By belief, by belief. Well, what does belief look like? What James always told us. Yaakov said, I will show you my belief by my actions. By belief, they did something. Because of what he believed, Noah made the ark. Because of what he believed, Abraham got up and left the land where he lived his whole life. By belief, etc., etc., etc. In Hebrews chapter 11. We might get to chapter 11 at some point, but just understand that's what we're talking about here. We allow our eagerness to shift to a new object of eagerness. Ooh, think about that. You allow your eagerness to just be for eagerness' sake. And since the thing you're being eager for is delayed and not received quick enough for you, you're going to now shift your eagerness to something else. Now, the covenant at Mount Sinai was not unilateral. If you, then I. Okay? Abraham, there was no if you. He'd already done the if you. He'd already shown himself to deserve and merit the promises, so to speak. He said, I will bless those who bless you, and I will increase you, and I'm going to do all this stuff to you, period. Not if you. I've already decided I'm going to do this for you. Okay, what does an anchor do? Okay, you're out in the water, you lay the anchor out, and what does it do? It goes down, lodges itself into the ground so that the boat doesn't go anywhere. Now notice that an anchor with a boat doesn't hold it firmly in one place. It moves a little bit, but it doesn't go very far. And that's kind of you, kind of a metaphor for you. The anchor doesn't stop you from moving at all, but it allows you to grow and to move and flow just a little bit, but it keeps you from drifting too far.